Yeah, it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Attorney, how are you? And
Good
how's
morning.
Pprrd? He's doing well?
He's in good spirits.
Okay, thank you. And does Pprrd have any message for the Filipino people now that May 12 election are fast approaching?
He asked for calm and restraint. He knows that there are elections in the offing. He knows that the people are very interested in his welfare. And he also knows that there is a tendency, perhaps, for people to get excited and not to respect the judicial process. He insists that the judicial process be respected, that there be no interference in that at all.
Thank you, Attorney. And Attorney, how do you respond to the ICC judge's rejection of your proposal? Do you believe it undermines the rights of the accused in any way?
Well, this whole thing about the judges rejecting my proposal, that never happened. All that happened was that there were two activist victims representatives by the names of Joel Butian and Cristina Conti, who made all sorts of assertions in the press that I had asked to restrict victims' participation in the process by limiting the ID documents that could be used. That never happened. All I was doing was I was relying on what the Philippines social security system requires for ID to be verified in the Philippines. What they don't tell you is that they were not accepted at this present moment in time to be representatives of the victims, rather the OPCV, which is the unit which is dedicated to representing victims at the ICC. So this is not a question of the judges rejecting something that the defense asked for. This is a response that the defense made to the VPRS, which is the internal court unit which is responsible for assessing victims' applications. That's all we did. We made observations. We didn't make a request which was rejected. That's a big lie.
Yeah. So do you think the ICC sets dangerous precedent by relaxing documentary requirements, particularly in highly politicized cases like this?
Once again, this whole issue of it being a dangerous precedent is not something that we created. It's something that's in the minds of Joel Butian and others.
Thank you, Attorney. And lastly, Attorney, what is your message to the Filipino people closely watching the process unfold?
Respect the judicial process, respect the judges, and respect former President Duterte's right to a fair trial.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Attorney, can I ask another one? Sir, may we ask if you have already applied for Pprrd's interim release?
Once again, I'm not going to comment on the chronology of that request. There will be a request for interim release in due course, but as I said many times before, certain conditions have to be ripe for that interim release to take place. And it's the judges who ultimately decided.
Sir, do you think that our former president will be brought back to the Philippines before the confirmation of charges on September 23rd?
I certainly hope so. In fact, I can't understand why he's here. He's a Filipino citizen. There's a Filipino president in that country who threw a Filipino citizen over here to be tried. Why isn't he in the Philippines? Why isn't he being tried in the Philippines? Why is there not a Filipino judge who is trying him?
Yeah, exactly, sir. Because that's the sentiment of a lot, if not most, of the Filipinos, that he is illegally detained here and that our judicial system is fully functioning well. So we don't understand why the ICC actually took cognizance of what's happening right now.
Yes, I fully sympathize with that sentiment entirely. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir.